What is up, Space Pirates? This is your captain, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and I've got to say, as much as I wanted Black Myth Wukong to succeed after hearing about how the developers publicly renounced Sweet Baby Inc., never did I imagine that it would be this popular.
Holy shit.
I mean, there are games out there, successful games even, that don't have the player count numbers on the Steam charts that Black Myth achieved with its benchmark tool, a simple app that you can download to make sure your PC can handle the game. This game is going to be huge. I mean, for cripe's sake, the benchmarking tool at one point rocketed up to the 18th spot for most played games on Steam. It turns out that it's quite lucrative to side against Sweet Baby Inc., which is the message that we have to hope other developers take from this whole situation. You have to hope that these guys understand gamers are sick of the woke shit. But I have a message for the developers of the Monkey King game.
Hail to the king, baby.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Lots of you have been doing that, which is why I have to ask the obligatory question.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
We just hit the 48,000 subscriber mark, and most of you know what that means. With every 1,000 subscribers, I add another ship to the fleet. This time, I added the Moya from Farscape. If you have any suggestions for future ships, please drop them in the comment section below, but in any event, thanks for being here as a part of the Space Pirate crew.
I knew it, I'm surrounded by assholes.
But anyways, Black Myth Wukong is set to be one of the highest selling games of 2024, which is remarkable considering it is a brand new IP from an indie developer that wasn't well known at all. But one way to gain some fame in the gaming industry these days is to become embroiled in the Sweet Baby Inc. controversy that has taken the industry by storm this past year. As I've said on the channel before, the story about game science rebuking Sweet Baby's offer to consult on Black Myth Wukong for $7 million, it doesn't even matter if the story is true or not. Personally, I suspect that it is. I think it is exactly the sort of thing that Sweet Baby does, and it explains why all these games journalists came out of nowhere to start ragging on game science, this developer that nobody had heard of before Black Myth. The journalists ragged on them for being sexist and shit. Well, I tend to believe the story is true, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that the gaming industry takes note of the fact that gamers are embracing this title as a result of the story. The important part is that Black Myth aligned themselves completely against Sweet Baby by putting this story out into the world. By now, it is becoming quite evident that such a position is lucrative, and hiring Sweet Baby is basically the kiss of death for a game. There are lots of examples of both of these things so far this year. Probably the most prominent Sweet Baby game to come out this year was Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and that AAA game, which featured a very popular IP, only managed to get about 13,000 concurrent players at its peak. It sold so poorly that Warner is giving the game away for free now so they can write it off on their taxes, and still nobody plays it. You got Tales of Kenzera Zhao, which released a few months back and couldn't even hit 300 concurrent players on Steam. Capes released a few months ago as well, and it peaked at 664 players. Flintlock: The Siege of Dawn is now a few weeks old, but nobody is playing this piece of shit, featuring a character that looks like an orc princess. They couldn't even hit 700 players. Every time Sweet Baby works on a game, it turns to shit. Nobody wants to play this kind of woke crap. But contrast that to Black Myth, which is the #1 most wishlisted game on Steam and whose benchmark tool skyrocketed up to the 18th most played game. Or even look at some of the other games that came out this year renouncing woke shit in general. The trend is that these games do well. The First Descendant is a brand new IP, and they have tens of thousands playing that game on the regular on Steam. Stellar Blade was a game that the woke media desperately wanted to fail, but this PS5 exclusive has reportedly sold over 1 million copies in its first few months. And now we've got Mecha Break, a game that is releasing in 2025, and the beta for the game went over 50,000 players recently. Basically, the activists who run the major AAA game studios have abandoned the section of the gaming market that wants to play games that are free of their shitty woke ideas. But it turns out that this appears to be a vast majority of gamers, so basically they've given up the market of the gaming industry. Because most of us just want to turn on a game and not have this shit shoved into our faces, which is why we see all these new IPs coming out of nowhere to fill the void in the market. It's a beautiful thing, and I can't wait to see how much ass Black Myth Wukong kicks in a couple of days. But I'm gonna leave it there. You know that Sweet Baby and their journalist shills are out there hoping against hope that Black Myth fails, but it won't. Drop your mockery of Sweet Baby in the comment section below, and we will talk there.
Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your captain is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.